So, our Align to Receive workshop, this is session 3. In the first session, we went over the importance of alignment. So, we talked about how it's essential. It's a foundational concept for manifesting. It is syncing your thoughts, emotions, and actions with what it is that you desire. Um, we learned that alignment isn't just about positive thinking or it's about being in harmony with our inner self and with the universe. And then on the first night, we went over how to do visualization, which is a really powerful tool to help you visualize what it is that you desire with all your 5 senses and with lots of details. Then last night we went over understanding what misalignment is. So this is good because it helps us understand why we have blocks, and they're very common blocks, right? And so we took a look at how our emotions are our internal guidance and what to do when we feel ourselves getting out of alignment, that's just a signal to get back. We're getting a little off track and to get back on track. Also, last night I went over quite a few times. This is not about being hard on yourself. It's just not, right? So we also we worked on reframing mistaken beliefs, taking a look at the emotional guidance scale, the and the 3 questions, using the 3 questions techniques. So tonight is designed to give you more tools and strategies that we're going to you'll have the ability to implement moving forward after this lesson. And to me, this is a very important part of my role as the facilitator of this workshop, because I don't want you to just come here and attend and be like, oh, wow, this is cool. I want you to, this time next week, I want this to stay with you. I want you to have outcomes from this workshop that you're going to be able to implement. So that to me, these tools and strategies are very important. And then tomorrow we take all the things we've gone over and then we add a couple of new things. But the end result of tomorrow's class will be that you have a personal alignment plan. That will be tomorrow. Securing long-term success. So tonight we go over something called continuous realignment. Now, this is very important for staying on track with our daily activities, with our goals, with our dreams. So continuous realignment. It's not about being perfect all the time. In fact, that's really unrealistic. It's about recognizing when you've drifted off course and gently guiding yourself back. Gently. So really embracing and understanding realignment can actually be very life-changing because it teaches you to respond to life's challenges. Respond to life's challenges instead of reacting. So you're handling it with grace, with resilience and grace, because so often we're just in the use of we get used to reacting to everything. So it's different. It's the difference between giving up when things get tough or having tools to recalibrate. So the tools I'm going over with you in this program or the workshop are to help you recalibrate and constantly keep moving forward. So by mastering the art of continuous realignment, you ensure you're always going to be moving towards your desires and your goals, even when the path isn't straight, because it won't be. So embracing continuous realignment means you're always going in the right direction towards your goals. So the first thing I want to go over with, it's an activity that's specifically focused on realignment. They're called the 3 R's. The first R is to recognize. Recognize is acknowledging, just realizing you're out of alignment. Oh, out of alignment. That's simple. Not, oh, out of alignment. No, out of alignment. Right. So it's the first and most important step because that's where you originally interrupt whatever the thinking is. And the awareness allows you to begin the process of then getting into realignment. So again, be gentle, not judgmental. The next R is to reset. So this is where we put our focus back on a positive or neutral state with our emotions. So we need to calm ourselves down. We need to emotionally reset. Whether the problem is big or small, we need to reset. So this could involve using a technique like deep breathing, visualization, maybe gratitude to reset our emotional state. And this is the part where we do things to help us feel calm. When we're out of alignment, somehow or another, something's off. We're not feeling so great. So this is where reset means the goal is being calm. And then finally, the last step is to focus. So this entire workshop, we've gone over how feelings, thoughts, and actions need to be in alignment, right, for us to be able to be manifesting, making our dreams come true. So the refocus part is now we got ourselves calmed down. We used whatever tools we had, get ourselves, reset our emotions. And now the refocus is to start to use different tools to take the way we're thinking and reframe it, adjust the way we're thinking so that then we can wind up taking the action. So we're redirecting our thoughts and actions toward being in alignment. So this step involves taking action that supports our well-being, our goals, or whatever we have going on in that moment. And it also reinforces the previous step, which is reset, right? First, we reset our emotions. So then we're reinforcing that when we refocus our thoughts and actions. So tonight, specifically between tonight and tomorrow, I'm going to go over a lot of tools. I will be giving you a handout tomorrow, which will have them listed with an explanation on how to do them. But they're all designed to help you get yourself back into alignment in under different circumstances. Some if you're very upset, some if you're a little upset. Okay. So that's the 3 R's of realignment: recognize, reset, refocus. So we need to learn something called emotional regulation. That means how we balance, when we get really upset, if we go really far into reaction, or if you just go a little bit into reaction. So there's something called the butterfly hug, and you can see this picture here. This woman has her hands on each of these arms. You can either do it with your hands here or your hands here. And this is very helpful to use if you're very upset. It's also a really good thing if you're really upset. It's like an emergency emotional reset. So there is a therapy that's called EMDR. The long words for that is eye movement desensitization and reprocessing. So it's EMDR therapy. So they use the butterfly hug as something that's self-soothing, and it is used so people use it to manage stress and anxiety. Now, full EMDR therapy has to have a trained therapist who are licensed and have special training, and EMDR therapy is designed to work with people with deep trauma. So that's not what we're using this for, but the reason I think that that's helpful to say it is because this is a tool that helps us when we have powerful emotions. So the techniques such as the butterfly hug can be a practical tool for everyday emotional regulation. It's actually pretty cool. So what I want to do is try it together. What I'd like you to do is cross your arms. You can either cross your arms over your chest and have your hands either on the sides of your arms here or up on your shoulders. Okay, so cross your arms and again over your chest. Now, what you're going to do is alternating taps. So you're just going to tap on the left and the right. Now that's where it gets the butterfly hug name, because you're alternating taps. Now, mind you, butterflies flap their wings both at the same time, but this one's alternating. Now, while you're doing this, I'm sitting here talking to you, but teaching. What you're going to do is focus on your breathing and take slow, deep breaths as you continue to tap. So the alternating tapping is this back and forth stimulation is what is used in EMDR because it calms the nervous system. So it literally does. I can't explain the science behind it. It calms the nervous system and helps us process emotions effectively. So instead of feeling like we're so out of control. So that is the butterfly hug. Easy enough to do. I have another one. This is called this is writing with a non-dominant hand. Now I'm right-handed, which means I would write with my left hand. Writing with writing with your non-dominant hand. And it's really good because it helps you manage emotions and actually get a break from the way you're thinking so you can quiet the chatter and possibly get more, get new perspectives on things. So here are some of the other benefits. Because it engages the right brain, which is associated with creativity, intuition, and emotional processing. So the right brain handles creativity, intuition, and emotional processing. So you think about all those things together. That's why it helps us calm down and gives us the opportunity to see a different perspective. And if you remember, once we get ourselves into alignment, once our thoughts, emotions, and actions are in alignment, do you remember there was quite a few times where I said that's when you start to see, oh, you know what? That's a possibility. That's another option. That's a possibility. So once we get ourselves into alignment, we can see a new perspective. And that's one of the things that this type of writing will do. It's also a way for an emotional release. So this writing technique can help you process deeper emotions and thoughts that might be harder to express with your dominant hand. It's because it's slowing down the process. You can actually get deeper emotions out and, like I said, kind of come up with a new technique, a new perspectives. And then finally, it's a really, really good mindfulness technique. And mindfulness is, you'll see that so often listed, do a mindfulness technique. And what it does is it just brings you into the moment because it requires like focus and intention, right? So you're not just willy-nilly, like you really have to focus and intend on what you're doing. So what I would like to do is I'm not going to do this with a pen. I would just like you to pretend you have a pen. If you have one, you can use the pen. But I would like for you to write with your non-dominant hand. So for me, that's my left hand. And I want you to write, I am feeling, and then you fill in the blank. So go ahead, you write it with your, I am feeling. Okay. So do you see what I mean about it focus has you focus and listen, my voice changed. As you focus, you're more intentional. And it was calming to me. It kind of like it took me out, it takes you out of chaos. So I love this. I love the writing with your non-dominant hand. Now I'm going to do two very simple ones. This one is called 10-second breathing pause. You're going to take a 10-second breathing pause. You can do this anywhere, anytime, in public, in your car, in your home, or even during a conversation. So if you're having a conversation with someone and things are getting uncomfortable, you're finding yourself getting triggered, you can do this breathing. So when frustration hits, just pause what you're doing, take a deep breath in for the count of 4, hold it for 2, and then back out for 4. So in for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it for 2, 1, 2, and then out for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, and you repeat that 3 times. You go through 3 different cycles. So that's where it gets the 10-second pause because it's in for 4, hold for 2, out for 4. And the nice thing about this is it interrupts our frustration cycle. So it gives another opportunity to what I was saying earlier about resetting, right? Resetting our emotions. It allows you to approach the situation with a clearer, calmer mindset. All right, so it's in for 4, hold for 2, and then out for 4. Okay. Oh, now my nose is itchy. All right, so let's do the fourth one that I had in mind is called this is a little micro meditation. Getting quiet and focusing doesn't, I mean, it's wonderful if you can do 5 minutes, 10 minutes, a half hour, be in meditation for much. It's all wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. But we don't always have that luxury, especially if we're out and about living our lives and feel upset or we're out of alignment. So this little 2 to 3 minute micro meditation, you're just going to close your eyes and focus on your breathing. The cool thing about it being so short is that a lot of times, especially when there's a lot of chatter going on, we wind up getting easily distracted. And what happens then? We beat ourselves up like, I can't meditate, right? So 2 or 3 minutes, nice, short and sweet. You can focus yourself for that short amount of time. So you want to picture yourself. So close your eyes and actually you can't do this while you're driving, right? Close your eyes and focus on your breathing and picture a peaceful scene, something that's peaceful to you. Like this example I have here is a serene beach, maybe a calm park, maybe petting your pet, something. So if it's on the beach, with your eyes closed, when you're focusing on your breathing, hear the waves crashing, right? Smell the ocean. You feel the sun on you and maybe some mist from the water. You feel the wind, you taste the salt, like really imagine all those details. So once you do that, I don't know if that's even a minute. I'm not really sure how long that was. But because it's such a short amount of time and it's so focused and you can just get yourself into picturing those different details, it's an easy way to just quick calm yourself down. So this is also something for reset. It helps you reset your emotions from a negative state to a positive state. So this is another reset. Um, why would this not work if you're very upset? It could possibly not work if you're very upset. Why would that be? If someone wants to type in the chat. Because we went over two that could work if you're very upset, but the last one with the breathing and this one, they're not. So if you're very upset, it can be very hard to even get quiet for 2 minutes, right? Because I know for me, like I always use it when I have that perseverating, anxious, fast thinking going on. This would be close to impossible. But if I did either of the other techniques, I did the butterfly hug and focusing, or the writing with a non-dominant hand. Either one of those, when I think sometimes people call it monkey mind. When I'm really upset, that would definitely help to calm me down a little better. And now this is why I love this image that I have pulled off in AI. I love AI, making images in AI. So this last one is called a gratitude flip. So when you're feeling low or out of alignment, it's not, again, not really angry, really sad. When you're really low and out of alignment, just think of 3 things that you have to be grateful for, right? And what does that do? Again, it will reset or elevate your emotions, right? Instead of being, um, sticking in those things, being grateful for something is like this magic superpower, just to wind up being grateful. So it resets your emotions and then it refocuses your thoughts and actions again, right? So you're resetting the emotions and you are refocusing because now you're thinking about things that you have to be grateful for. So what's happening is you're changing the focus from something that's wrong and you're refocusing on something that's right. Okay. So I would like each of you to write in the chat. I know it's not always that easy if you're on your phone, but if you write in the chat, I say here 3 things that you're grateful for, but if it's too difficult for you to type on your phone in chat, write at least one. So I'd like for each of you to write one thing that you're grateful for, and I'll write one as well. I'm grateful for being a facilitator for this workshop. That's what I'm being grateful for. Okay, so put yours in as I just continue to move along now. I thought these were going to take a lot longer to go through. I actually had more to do, but I didn't want to overwhelm it so much. All right, so here we go. So session 3, what have we done? We've talked about the power and the importance of continuous realignment. So it helps us be realistic because it's absolutely impossible to be aligned all the time, right? So when you have it in your, so it's like, all right, I want to get in alignment. Yes, you want to get into alignment. The next thing is continuous realignment. Just remember, it's gentle, it's light, it's lighter than you think, right? Don't complicate a bologna sandwich. Like this is something that we just need to keep doing. We take a shower every day. We don't say, oh, I showered yesterday, I should be clean. No, we have to, there's certain things we just have to keep doing all the time, right? Meals, right? You don't just eat once, even if you just eat once a day, the next day you still have to eat again. Oh, I see. I'm alive, I'm healthy, I'm blessed. Love it, love it, love it. Perfect. I love every single one of those. So we talked about the importance of continuous realignment, and it blends very nicely to what I went over last night quite a bit, and then earlier today, and that's to not be hard on yourself. Do not do. Like I said years ago when I was first studying Abraham Hicks, and I'd be like, I read all these books and go to this study group. Why am I unhappy? I just had it in my mind like I'm doing this wrong. If I'm unhappy, I'm doing this wrong. No, 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 no. And then we went over the 3 R's, the 3 R's of realignment, which are recognize, reset, and refocus. So recognize that you're out of alignment. Okay, no big deal. I know I have to do something. Reset, let's reset our emotions. And we've gone through 4 different activities, ways that you can do that. And then refocus our thoughts and our actions. We're having a brain fade. Recognize, reset, and refocus. And then we went over different strategies. One was the butterfly hug, right? You cross your arms over your chest and alternate tapping. This is something they use in EMDR therapy where someone has to be specialized to do that therapy, but anybody can use this tool. And the nice thing about this is it works with your nervous system, it calms you down, and it helps you process your emotions. That was the butterfly hug. Then the writing with the non-dominant hand. When you do that, you have to focus more. So it helps you, again, calms you down. It works with the right side of our brain, which is linked to our creativity, our intuition, and our emotional response. So when you're writing with your left hand, for me, it's my left hand, with your non-dominant hand, it automatically slows you down and brings you into the moment. So it's an easy breezy thing to do. And then finally, the last 3 were a simple breathing exercise, and there's so many, but it's the 10-minute pause, the 10-second pause, 10 count pause, sorry. In for 4, hold for 2, out for 4. Repeat 3 times. 4, 2, 4. Do it 3 times. And the 2 to 3 minute meditation, just think about a nice place where it's peaceful. Think about the details. Bring yourself down into, a peaceful, calm way. And then finally, the gratitude flip, which is just think of 3 things that you're grateful for, because that's like immediate alignment. That's one of my favorite things to do. It's just, I think over the years, when I've been in all different situations, I think gratitude has probably been the most powerful strategy that I've used. And I think I told you yesterday, like, I was so happy Monday. To me, I was like, Monday morning, new start. Now, I just did that. I made myself be happy about it by being grateful for. I'm grateful for a job. I'm grateful for health insurance. I'm grateful to be learned. Like I was all these things, and I wound up loving Monday mornings instead of dreading them, right? Okay. Oh, why isn't this one going to my next? Huh. Why didn't my slide isn't moving? Let me go over to here. And now I'll go to this one. Okay. So in the entire workshop, again, we've covered the importance of alignment, and then yesterday was the understanding what misalignment was and to not beat yourself up. And then today, I dug into some tools more, like so that when we realize we're not, we're out of balance, there's so many different things that we can do. So I tried nice, simple ones that you can do them when it's tense, you could do them when it's just a little bit upsetting. Um, and then for tomorrow, I'll have a couple of more strategies to show you. We're going to kind of pull things together a little bit more, but then I'm going to guide you through creating a personal alignment plan. That's going to be a nice little thing that you can do however you want to keep track of it, whether it's a tracker or just, one little thing. I'll show you tomorrow. But you're going to design the tools that you want for you that work best with your, emotional regulation, work best with your temperament. Do you tend to get really angry? Do you tend to cry? Do whatever it is, there's no wrong or right, whatever it is that works for you. So that was what we did. And then tomorrow's the fourth day of this workshop. Now, I was thinking the other 2 nights I was teaching for so long, I really thought that I had way too much. I'm like, this is probably too much. I don't want to go over 8 o'clock. But somebody did ask me, what am I going to be doing after this? Is there any next steps to this program? Now, they're not here, but if you're interested in me showing you what I came up with to do now after this workshop is over, then let me know and I will go over it. Well, actually, you know what? I need to do it and record it. So even though that person's not here, I'll record it so that people watching the recording who aren't here can also see. So now I'm going to show you what's next. Okay. So I don't know why this button isn't working. Well, this is going to be a little interesting if my click thing isn't working. So what I came up with is now something I call the Align to Receive Mastery Program. So it's going to, what we've learned so far between the one class and now this workshop, I focused a lot on alignment, a lot on, there's the steps are, right, to get your emotions, thoughts, and actions all in sync. So this workshop really focused a lot on the emotions, especially what I was just doing now, all the skills tonight, and then again, the alignment plan tomorrow. So the other two pieces are really the thoughts and the actions. Now, I know for myself, it wasn't until I was able to keep myself calm. It took, once I was able to change my thinking on a regular basis, and you have to redo it, and then the actions, so once it took me a while to get them all going. So really the next things after alignment would then be thoughts and actions. So that's what I can do, put this together. So the Align to Receive Mastery Program, first, again, because it will, and now at this point that we've all been together so much, and I'll be having everyone do their personal alignment plan, then the next step on that is we can work together on how to make that be really fit nicely with you feeling financial abundance, right? You to not have so much tension all the time, right? And then, so you're going to experience mental freedom, right? And then the next one would be to align your inner world. So when we did alignment, what we did was we did it a lot with thoughts and emotions. But when I say inner, so it really should be align your world, because if you think about it, it's not just aligning my thoughts and my actions. It's actually even, what does my desk look like? What does my bedroom look like? Is my laundry folded and put away? What does my refrigerator look like? If I open my so there's so much more to being aligned in my inner world. And then there's also relationships with people, right? So sometimes do we know how to set boundaries? So all these things, all these things are part of being in alignment. So then to do any of those things, again, takes more different skills, like a different tangent than anything I've gone over. So for example, setting boundaries with people, that can be real tricky. I know for me it has been, but the first thing is like give yourself permission to do it, and then the actions of what it is that you need to take to do that. It's something that we can all learn, right? And then again, unshakable momentum. So this is taking what we've done so far with staying with the continuous alignment and actually even putting that further along. So like other things will even be even stronger momentum. So then you wind up not only staying on track, but you avoid common pitfalls, right? And you don't wind up derailing your success. So if you do, pivot a little bit, go off track a little bit, you're not like crashing and burning. You catch yourself much sooner. And then finally, really just get to a point where whatever state your money is in, like it's in control. You're like, one way or another, I always pay my bills. One way or another, I always pay my bills. One way or another, my money works out, right? We don't have to know all the hows now. But when we stick ourselves in oh, I don't know, right? We're never going to you never get to a place of feeling abundant from a state of lack. So if you're feeling lack, you're never going to feel financial abundance. You're just not. It's impossible. It's like a different zip code altogether. And you don't have a car and you can't walk. Like it's just that's an island over there and this is an island over here and you can't swim in the no boat, right? So you're not going to get the feeling of prosperity and abundance and that freedom that we talked about from having a brain fade here. From a sense of lack. All right, let's see if my clicker works now. Oh, good. All right. So the Align to Receive Mastery Program, stay with me here. Let me go through the whole thing before you start, can I do this? Can I do this? Let's remember, be open-minded, right? So don't make a judgment yet. Hang in there. So it's 8 weeks of live training, and it will always be recorded, and you'll have the recordings for life. So it's 8 weeks of live training. Now, when I offer a program like that, it's easily $3,000, easily, okay? I'm going to package a whole thing together and we'll go over the pricing, right? But don't worry about that number, don't panic, right? So what winds up happening is so we have the live training, and then after the training, every single time we do live Q&A. So it's like a coaching program. So not only are you getting the training, but then you get immediate clarification on any questions. You get to stay on track. You held personal accountability, but there's also like this enhanced learning because when the other people that are in the program, they ask questions, you learn so much. Like the program I'm in, we have the training, and then we also have the coaching. It's just I always learn. So I go to the coaching, yeah, I have my questions, but then when the other people have questions, I learn so much as well. I'm actually in 2 different coaching programs right now. So I live this. So this to me is like my world, okay? So you have the enhanced learning, you have the personal accountability, and the immediate clarification. So you can overcome obstacles and be able to stay motivated. So I wasn't clicking, no question unanswered. Oh, let me go back. So the live Q&A, once I have these recordings, I'll be selling this as a standalone course and people will not get the live Q&A. They won't, they'll have an opportunity to ask questions. So I can only do this the first time, the only time I can offer the live Q&A in this particular 8-week program. So that's the program is $2,997. The live Q&A each week based on 8 hours of my coaching, easily $1,997 is a great value. So that total now is up to $4,994. But then we have all types of course resources. So I have guides with instructions. I have different trackers. There's some that I will specifically be using, and I'll probably have one tomorrow, I believe. There's some I'll specifically be using, but then I have plenty of others that I can give people. You can have those if you want to incorporate them on your own. And then planners and journal pages, all these things that are customized to what we're actually doing, and then some bonus extra ones that people like to have some more of what I have. I have a huge library, huge library. So I'll pick and choose what works best for this. So the guides and trackers. So again, it's the 8 weeks of live training, the live Q&A, which will also be recorded and available. And then finally, the toolkit of all the different resources, and that's easily $297 value. So now we're up to $52.91. Now this is really cool because I'm doing this class live, right? I'm able to take where everybody is on any given week, and it's not like I have the 8-week outline already done. I could teach it right now, but because I'm doing it live, based on people's questions or where they're going, then I can keep customizing. So the training actually develops based on how the participants are developing. So what I do is I have my slides are in the wrong order. So I have a private Facebook community, and what I'll do in there is post some of the worksheets, so that you'll have a copy of the recording in there, as well as a course portal. And that's instant access to resources and the 24/7 Q&A. So if you in that private Facebook group, if you tag me, then I will immediately get, the notification on my Facebook. So that one, and then weekly updates go in there. So let's see. So we have the mastery program. We have the live Q&A, $19.97. The toolkit, and then the Align to Receive private circle that we're all in together. Technically, then you have access to me 24/7, right? Because I will, well, when I log into Facebook, right? So it's just a different opportunity than everyone together. It's private, so you all work with each other in whatever way feels, best for you, whether either to work with that way or to not. Like you interact as much as you feel comfortable with. So now we're up to 52.91. So now the other one is the one-on-one impact session. So here is a 60-minute private one-on-one coaching session with me. Because what will happen here is when we work together, so with coaching one-on-one with me, then we'll really drill down in on what's blocking you. Where are we'll be able to see together, like what's your long-term, goals and desires, and what can we work on, like what can we focus on in the current time to really have you get the biggest impact. So not only are you getting all this training and all the resources and the live Q&A, but then that's where you get your own individual roadmap or your individual blueprint, right? Is that this private one-on-one session with me. So we'll go over if you have any specialized challenges and anything with your self-belief, but it really will accelerate the learning process. And that is, so again, the 8-week live training, $2,997. The live Q&A, $19.97. The toolkit, $297. The private community, priceless. And now the one-on-one impact session is $297. And that's actually, sometimes people get charged more, but anyway, so that's a fair price for my one-on-one sessions. So now we're up to $5,588. But when this whole thing is done, at the end, and I don't have a date yet, we'll work it out depending on who enrolls and what their what their schedules are. There will be a 3-day live event where we'll take all the different things, but really, really, really going to make the skills stick. One of my coaches has done this twice a year with me and the other people I'm in the program with. I can't even begin to tell you how powerful this is. So it's a 3-day live event. So you really are implementing everything together as a group, and all of you move forward together. So it's a deep dive into that framework that I talked about earlier, and everything just gets completely solidified. So you'll see your progress, your challenges, and be able to really have a solid plan for implementing. And by the time you get to the end of the program, you just have a different perspective than you do before. So for example, if I were to talk about continuous realignment a week ago when we were in that one, the one night class, I'm assuming you have a very different thought about continuous realignment today than you did a week ago when I first mentioned it, right? So that's what winds up happening when you continue to expose yourself to this information, questions, answers, that type of thing. You just keep getting better and better. You have a better and better opportunity to make changes with it, right? Because it really sticks. So here we go. The 8-week live training, the live Q&A every week, recorded and available, the training, everything available for life. The toolkit, which I just love those. I'm a huge fan of making forms and PDFs. I geek out on that stuff. The private community on Facebook, where you'll have the recording there as well as different resources, a one-on-one coaching session with me. And I want that to be, well, we'll see, it has to be within the next 2 weeks. It really needs to be, sooner rather than later. And then the 3-day live event. So the 3-day live event, 1997, and then the coaching program, the 1-hour coaching, those alone are, pretty up there. So if I do the whole total of this, it's $7,585. But I am not going to charge that, not for my little group here. What I'm going to charge is only $497. Now, if you see based on what my normal coaching fee is for an hour, so really you're getting the 1 hour with me and then you're getting the 8 hours and you get all with additional information. So 497 is absolute bargain. It's the lowest I could really go. Well, it's a major, major, major bargain. I wanted to do the best I could. Now, if I can offer it starts next Friday at noon Eastern time. So I know there are some issues with time zones. I certainly can be open to a conversation as to if someone really wants to be involved, if they're not available at that time. I was thinking what I could do is if the lesson is recorded, then I could have another time where I meet with people just for Q&A. So I can't do the whole thing, but I could be very, very flexible. If someone really, really wants this, I will go out of my way to make it happen. So it's $497. I will do a payment plan. So the payment plan would be 3 payments of $217, and that would be a month apart. So it would be $217 when you register, and then $217 next month, and $217 at the I guess 8 weeks out. Yeah, so at the end of the program. So if you pay in full, it's $497. If you use the payment plan, you wind up paying a little over $650. So when you pay in full, you save $154. That's what I came up with to be able to take where we are now and then move it to the next stage, which would be really drilling in on the thoughts and the action plans. So that is that. I have a link there, and I also have the QRC code. And I think this is going to say, yep. So now I am open to any questions on anything that we had in any of our work or sessions.